I don't know, these breaking records kind of stuff is so new to me.
I think it's your biggest hit.
Yeah, I think so.
You should celebrate.
I am with you. But with Muthuramalingam, you know, Karthik sir was supposed to do the film. And which was the most exciting thing for me, you know, which is why I wanted to do the film. I'm also romantically linked with everyone that I worked with. Hard for me to be in a social setting like that, and I don't drink or smoke, so really I truly don't. You'll never see me out in a party, you'll never see me out in a club. I don't even know where all the popular hangouts are. Personally, I was going through quite a bit. I had lost a friend in a car accident who was one of my best friends.
You were close to him?
Yeah, he's one of my best friends, like my little brother. So finally I was offered a film where, you know, I was in a Pavada Davani, which I really enjoyed. And also actually a school uniform, which is really embarrassing, but we'll stick to the Pavada Davani. My mum is Tamilian, she's from Chennai. My father's Telugu and Maharashtrian from Hyderabad. So the common language was always English at home. So I can't...
Hello, welcome to another edition of Red Carpet. And this week, I have with me the gorgeous Priya Anand.
Hi.
Welcome, Priya.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, you are rocking at the moment. You are the talls of Kerala. Your movie has done extraordinary business.
I know, this is something like really
Ezra
new.
is a super duper hit.
It's crazy big and it's amazing. We all obviously, when you sign a movie, you know that it's going to do well and you hope that it'll do well. And everyone works really hard on a project, but for it to be breaking records and kind of having houseful shows even on weekdays and it being a horror film, I think that's amazing. Yeah,
Priya, what I've been hearing about Ezra is that the film is as good, is as big as Puli Murugan, Mohanlal's Puli Murugan.
Which is crazy.
It's a terrific opening the movie has taken.
It's huge. It's one of Prithvi's biggest opening, and it's also, I think, really, I don't know, these breaking records kind of stuff is so new to me.
I think it's your biggest hit.
Yeah, I think so.
You should celebrate.
I am with you, which is why I'm here with you.
Priya, tell us what's happening on the Bollywood front.
So I have Muthuramalingam in Tamil with Gautham Karthik, and then there is Kuttatulorthan with Ashok Selvan that is ready for release. So whenever the production house decides to release, then I will be starting another Tamil film soon. So once they make the announcements, I guess everyone...
You are supposed to do a film with G.V. Prakash, right?
Yeah, okay, so I guess you know about it. So G.V. and I are supposed to be working on a film. G.V. is really busy. He's doing lots of films. So when G.V. is available, then I think we'll start.
Okay. Are you playing a village belly in...
Yeah, in Muthuramalingam. So the funny thing was, so I was doing Ezra and all these films. So I literally was only picking movies that were different because I didn't want to do the same thing that I've done before. And in Tamil, even though I'm a Tamil girl and I've grown up actually in a village and I've nobody looks at me as a Tamil ponu. They always think of me as an NRI or a rich girl or an educated girl. So finally I was offered a film where, you know, I was in a Pavada Davani, which I really enjoyed.
So you're wearing Pavada Davani in Muthuramalingam.
Yeah, and also actually a school uniform, which is really embarrassing, but we'll stick to the Pavada Davani. So finally I got to play a Tamil ponu from, you know, like Madurai side. So that was really nice.
And you have dubbed in your own voice.
I did, and I also had to learn Silimbam in that movie, so that was kind of interesting.
Okay. And is it why you're being repeated opposite Gautham Karthik?
It was the first time. I mean, this is the second film together.
Yeah, but you're romantically linked by the gossip paper.
But I'm also romantically linked with everyone that I worked with. You know, and also I think there are a lot of the actors who have repeatedly worked together that are not talked about, and I'm always pulled in. Like recently Ashok and I had done a photo shoot for I think Christmas or something, and immediately the next day we were supposedly dating each other. So I think that happens a lot with me. It goes with it.
So you feel that you get romantically linked with all your heroes?
I kind of do, and not that I don't have an opinion about it. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't affect me in any way. It doesn't bother my family in any way. I think it bothers the boys more because then it's hard for them to go out and, like, you know, start flirting with all the other girls.
நான் சினிமர மாதிரி என்ன கட்டி பிடிச்சு சொல்லி தருவீங்களா?
என்ன சொன்ன?
கத்தி கட்டி சொல்லி தருவீங்களான்னு கேட்டேன்.
So, but how do you rate a relationship? When are you in relationship at the moment?
See, I think relationships are extremely important to have, especially when you go through a lot in life personally. If you have something, and I think it's always nice to kind of surround yourself with people that really love and care about you, and not just with in terms of a boyfriend or a girlfriend. I think in family or your friends, I think it's really nice to have people that are really going to be there for you. And I think when the bad times is when you really kind of need them, because the good times you'll always find people around you. So I think those things are very important.
So what you are saying is you had your share of heartbreaks?
Not really, because I don't think I've ever given myself enough to feel heartbroken. So heartbreak hasn't really happened yet.
Will you ever marry a star?
I don't know. I mean, it depends. I think the person matters more than what they do or who they are, and so it depends. I think it depends on how my lifestyle and their lifestyle fit. Because I've realized that me and a lot of my contemporaries are very different. I have a very different lifestyle, and I have a very different life in general and interests in general. So I think it depends on who fits into that.
Okay. And how do you define your lifestyle?
Very simple, very normal. I know normal is a word that everyone uses a lot, but really I truly don't. You'll never see me out in a party. You'll never see me out in a club. I don't even know where all the popular hangouts are.
So you don't party?
Not at all. Absolutely not at all. Like even in my teenage years, I didn't do that. So I don't do that, and I'm not at any filmy events. Like award shows even, I prefer not going. So I'm very socially awkward that way. As much as I'm talkative and chatty, it's hard for me to be in a social setting like that. And I don't drink or smoke, so I just don't.
You
find
don't
that
drink or smoke?
At all. So I just don't find that fun or entertaining to be around people who do that.
But I think you're having great fun on Twitter. You have got nearly 1 million followers.
Yeah, I think almost 2 million now.
2 million followers on Twitter. That is phenomenal.
But they're all really sweet, and they've all been really kind. And a lot of them I've kind of known since the beginning of me being on Twitter. So I literally have regular conversations with all of them, and they're all really sweet and nice. I think for someone like me, it's really important that the audience gets to know me for who I am, and not just because I worked with so and so, or because I did so and so movie, and because I was Geeta Miss or something like that. So it's nice that Twitter is really interactive. And
do you get trolled?
Not really, but don't start because of that. But no, people have been very kind. I think when you're yourself and you're not trying too hard to be anybody else and anything else, I think people get that, and they've been kind for the most part, I think.
You have worked with some big heroes in Tamil cinema like Shiva Karthikeyan and others, but why are you not working more with bigger heroes?
I don't know, ask them that. You know how the industry works. It's not something I control and I decide. See, the truth be told, when I worked with Shiva Karthikeyan, he wasn't the same Shiva Karthikeyan. So when we were doing Edit Neechal, he was, just coming up, and it's so nice, and I feel so proud to see him kind of reach the level of success that he has. And I'm not someone who ever wanted to work with a certain hero. It was always work with directors or work with technicians. I think they make a lot more impact on my life and on my work than who I'm paired opposite. Because I think regardless of how good looking your co-star is, you're still acting. So you're still pretending, and you're still not yourself. So it doesn't matter who I work with.
Okay, so at the end of the day, you look at the script more than the actor.
Yeah, for sure.
But our system is such that hits are more important than the script. What's your comment on that?
Well, it is very important, especially for someone like me. I've come from a totally non-filmy background. So to have a producer invest so much money, and a lot of you want them to do well, you want them to make their money back. So I think there's a fine balance, and it depends on the person that you are and what your goals are. For me, my wants and needs and my what I strive to do is probably different from what a mainstream commercial big heroine would want for themselves. So I think depends on what you want. I think you pick the projects that kind of work for you, and for me, I think a balance is what I prefer. But now that the Malayalam industry has welcomed me with such open eyes.
So would you be concentrating now more on the Malayalam film industry if offers come?
See, language doesn't matter for me anymore. So I think it's just where the good movies are, where the good stories.
You're doing a Kannada film also. Tell us about that.
So my Kannada debut has also been a dream run for me because I'm working with Prithviraj, who is one of the biggest stars. And and not only is he so famous and big, he's just so lovely as a person. I've never met someone like him in this industry. And my director, his first film was a huge hit called Mr. and Mrs. Ramachari.
Okay, that's a very, very big, it's a blockbuster.
Huge, commercially huge film and a very fun masala movie. And I remember I was randomly in Bangalore and I saw the poster and I watched the film. So when I got this offer, I couldn't refuse. And working with this team has been amazing. And I'm pretty sure this movie is going to do really well. Sharat Kumar sir is in the film, Prakash Raj sir is in the film. Lots of famous Kannada actors. It's it's a well-padded commercial masala film.
Any Bollywood offers on?
So I'm doing Fukre 2 now. So Farhan Akhtar had done Fukre 1, so we're doing Fukre 2 now. And Fukre was I think a big surprise hit for everyone. A bunch of 7 youngsters from Delhi, and I got to play a girl from Subhash Nagar, Delhi, who's completely different from anything I've seen or anybody I've played before. So to kind of be Priya again in part 2 is
okay, so that film also was acclaimed critically and...
it still plays on TV like every weekend. I get messages because...
So you'll be doing the sequel?
Done.
Oh, you're already finished?
Almost done.
Okay. And Telugu, any offers?
So there is actually a Telugu movie and I hope it kind of works out with the dates and everything because I haven't done a Telugu film in a while, and it's actually one of my favorite languages to work in because I just love speaking in Telugu. So I love when I get to say Telugu dialogues and everything.
சாரி உன் பேர் தெரியல
பேரே தெரியாதா
நம்ம கிளாஸ்ல 60 பேர் இருக்காங்க உனக்கு எல்லார் பேரும் தெரியுமா
What do you speak at home? Telugu or Tamil? English.
Which is why my Tamil was so bad when I first started doing movies. My mom is Tamilian, she's from Chennai. My father's Telugu and Maharashtrian from Hyderabad. So the common language was always English at home. So I kind of grew up speaking English. And working on movies, I think my languages have improved.
Yeah, but you're speaking fluently in Tamil and you're dubbing for your own films. That's a major plus.
Yeah, and I also got to work with directors who were from the beginning very insistent I dub. Which I think is very important to have your filmmakers nurture you as well in the beginning because that's when you kind of are pushed and you find yourself.
And now this Telugu film you're working with is?
No, it hasn't confirmed yet because I just don't know if I'm available for it yet. So it depends on when all these other films wrap.
So you're just working out your dates on them. Priya, I just saw the posters of Muthuramalingam. Hey, you're looking gorgeous and what's it? You got a glamorous role.
It's not a masala movie at all. And I know that people have kind of been having...
But I sent you those posters on Twitter.
Yeah, I saw your tweet on it. It was very funny. But I couldn't retweet it because it was me in the film. But, the movie and the posters have absolutely nothing to do with... The poster does not represent my character. I'm actually a 12th standard schoolgirl in the film. But if you see the posters, obviously no one will think that. But then again, I think, the thing about movies is each one has their own opinions and each one has their own version of how to do a film. The one thing that I think Bollywood has that is really appreciative is that they know how to kind of promote their product and they kind of know who their target audience is and all that stuff. So I think over here it's a little lost in terms of what the film is, just kind of show everything, thinking the audience wants to see that. Not something I agree with, not something that I approve.
So you're saying the posters have nothing to do with the basic story?
No, it's just random stills from a scene that, when you watch the scene, it won't seem as terrible as it is just when you look at it still. And but with Muthuramalingam, Karthik sir was supposed to do the film, and which was the most exciting thing for me, which is why I wanted to do the film, because Karthik sir and Sridevi have been 2 artists that I've admired all my life. So I thought, okay, I worked with Sridevi and I would love to work with Karthik sir, but it didn't turn out that way. Napoleon sir ended up doing the part, and he's very good in it. But Muthuramalingam was very different in terms of my character, my costumes, the whole experience of working with that team. Huge learning, and I think lessons that hopefully I'll never forget.
Okay. and now with Ezra, but you had a very pivotal role in that film as the girl possessed. And people say that the way you have done that role was one of the highlights of the film. As Priya yourself, the character name is also Priya, who gets possessed, and how was the experience working for Ezra?
You know, for me, first of all, working on a Malayalam film it has just been so fulfilling, because I think as an actor, you know, I was going through this phase where I wasn't really happy with the work that I was doing. I wasn't very excited. And I met Jay at a time where I was giving up on my dream of being an actor. You know, I was kind of losing
Jay is the director.
Jay is the director, yeah. So I was losing myself as a performer. I wasn't satisfied. And I didn't feel like I was pushing myself or I was learning anything new. And when Ezra was offered to me, it was amazing, which I always tell Jay. I was like, you know, the movie, the collections and everything aside, and working with Prithviraj and all of that in my Malayalam debut, just being able to perform and have a role where I can kind of do a lot more. I feel like I can offer a lot more, and to finally have the opportunity.
I think it was a powerful role. Would you just tell us something about this Priya character of Ezra?
So Priya is a girl from Bombay. She's an interior designer. And in Laila Kame, the song, you know, everyone sees how this young couple meets and falls in love, and we move to Cochin. And the fact that I'm an interior designer plays a lot in how the story starts off. And then the possession and all of that happens. But I think what's beautiful about Ezra is it's not just a horror film, it's also truly a love story. There's two different love stories happening, and how there's so many twists and turns, and how everything kind of unfolds is what is exciting, I guess, for the audience to watch.
Yeah, but the script was also good.
Yeah.
Would you say, because after Why Raja, why you haven't done any Tamil films?
You know, at that point, I was doing actually quite a number of films, because I was working with all the 3 star children, and I was doing Kannan sir's movies. So I had 4 films, and then personally I was going through quite a bit. I had lost a friend in a car accident who was one of my best friends, and so for me, I think I was at a phase where
No, you were close to him?
Yeah, he's one of my best friends, like my little brother, and it's one of the hardest things, you know, that I ever had to deal with. And for me, movies and pretending and, you know, all of that stuff just didn't seem right at that point. So I took a while off. I literally...
So this friend's accident till death caused a personal turmoil in your life?
Yeah, a lot. I think it took me a few years to get out of it. And the lovely thing about the Malayalam industry is they don't kind of restrict you to, oh, you're married, you can't do movies, oh, you've past a certain age, you can't do movies, oh, you put on weight, you can't do movies. I mean, they only truly care if you can perform and if you suit the character and if you can pull it off, which I think is a lovely industry to want to be a part of.
How was it working with Prithviraj?
Amazing. I think he is not only really easy on the eye, he's also, I think, extremely talented. And a person like Prithviraj, I've said this so many times before, he's not just an actor. He's also a producer, he's also a writer and soon to be director and everything. So he brings all those experiences to the set.
Did he make you comfortable on the sets?
Extremely. Because it's intimidating working on a language you don't speak, and especially being someone who's always dubbed and who's always spoken the language. For me, I was feeling very awkward to say my lines in Malayalam because I didn't want him laughing at me, because they were all serious scenes. We were shooting a horror film. But he was extremely sweet and very kind and very giving as an actor, and which is why I think you know, everyone's performances has been applauded in the film. And the lovely thing about the Malayalam industry is that they're not very closed-minded about, oh, who has the big role, who has the small role. You have actors like Tovino, Sujit, Sudev Nair, everyone kind of being a part of this film and being an ensemble cast in this.
And the film gets over fast?
It gets over very fast.
Okay, okay. And are you open to the idea of doing a film with Mr. Mohanlal?
Oh my God, they're amazing actors. I mean, I would be intimidated, I would be really scared because they're legends, right?
Yeah.
They're people that we've watched and admired, and I think all of India knows their talent. So I think that would be very intimidating. I'd have to kind of get over my nerves before I kind of say yes to that film.
and you are the only actor among the new generation who's performed in all the 5 languages, that is Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, Hindi and now Malayalam. So it's quite exciting.
It's really exciting. You know, until last year, I'd never worked in a language I didn't speak, and Malayalam and Kannada were the first time that I kind of started. And now I feel like now that I've dived into this, I just want to like start doing movies in lots of different languages. I really hope I have a Bengali debut soon.
Okay, so one of your strengths has always been that you dub in your own voice. I think for all your Tamil films you have dubbed in your own voice. How was it in Ezra? Did you dub in your voice?
I did not, unfortunately. Like I said, I was doing Malayalam and Kannada at the same time. So it was a little difficult for me to grasp Malayalam. Kannada was a lot easier for me. I think Malayalam is a lot more challenging as a language. And obviously when you don't really speak the language so well, I don't think it's right to kind of take away from the performance by dubbing. But after watching someone else dub for me, it's just the most strangest experience because I'm not used to looking a certain way and sounding different. So I hope with the next time I work with someone who's really going to encourage me to be able to dub.
Okay, dubbing plays an important role you as an actor.
And to me, I think you know, that kind of brings you full circle. And dubbing is one of my favorite parts of shooting and working on a film. I really enjoy dubbing, and I really kind of hope to start doing that with Malayalam and Kannada as well.
Okay. So you're looking in for a all new innings in Malayalam.
Definitely.
It's nice talking to you, Priya.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Bye.